I'd gone for a run and my body was like, no, like we can't do this anymore.
Elevated heart rate, you begin to sweat.
On the way back, I just remember thinking, this has gone too far.
For me, mental health means, having a great mental space, having great energy, being open to what's happening to us day to day and being able to overcome those struggles and things like that may come our way.
It's obviously an incredibly difficult thing to define, and I'm sure it means different things to different people. For me, it's about maintaining an inner balance.
Coming out of school and going to university, and I guess my exposure to public speaking was quite minimal, and I found it really difficult to stand up in front of a group of people, whether that be my peers or my tutors or people external for a group talk. I found that really difficult. I guess sort of elevated heart rate, you begin to sweat, you're shaking a little bit, which when you say it like that sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But it's amazing what pressure can do to the human body.
I was running and training for this event, but also at the same time I was struggling with my mental health, and also with that was all the other things with maybe like not eating well, not sleeping well. So I think my body just kind of started to like break down at one point, and I'd gone for a run and my body was like, no, like we can't do this anymore. And a family member found me outside like on the floor, and I was in a fit of panic, and what I'd found out was it was a panic attack. It was one of the worst that I'd ever experienced. Looking back at it now, I laugh about it because what else can you do? But you're like, wow, like I really wasn't well. And I was just pretending I was running away from everything and being like, it's okay. And I wanted to pretend I was okay.
But I remember vividly going somewhere with my mum. It must have been I'm sure it was in the summer holidays, because it was a really hot day. And we're driving back from somewhere. I think she wanted to go like shopping somewhere or something, and I was really stressed and panicky and kind of like beating myself up in my head the whole time we were out. And on the way back, I just remember thinking, this has gone too far. I was contemplating some really awful things, and so I spoke to my mum about it, and then obviously and to my dad as well when I got home, and that was obviously the first thing I had to do, and it was the best thing that I did. And
so I took upon myself to go to public speaking lessons and how to try and improve that side of things.
I spoke to doctors, I spoke to, I guess friends, family. They all just wondered why I had not spoken out sooner. They wondered why I'd let myself get to this point, but you ask those questions all the time, like it happens.
I know some people like going running because it's when they can have loads of great ideas, or when they think of, new business plans or a creative idea. But for me, it's almost the complete opposite. I think nothing.
Running just became, I guess, like a crutch for me. I enjoyed doing it. I not only enjoyed doing it, but I spoke to other runners, and there was other runners in a similar position to me, and they were telling me their stories, and I thought, wow, like, I'm not the only person that's doing this. Like, I'm not the only person that has felt these feelings. Got myself well and truly involved within the running community, and yeah, it pretty much saved my life, I think. It just was a whole different path that I never would have experienced if it wasn't for all these unfortunate circumstances.
For me personally, as I'm sure a lot of other people out there, in terms of reducing anxiety, has positive effects on my sleep, cognitive function, and just alleviates all of those negative thoughts and allows you to escape to another place when you need it, really.
It's an ongoing battle. I know that the way I think, the way I process things, instinctively is probably not going to change. I just know that I have to, keep keep practicing what I've learned, and how to deal with, you know, whatever thoughts that pop into my head.
Being now in my 30s, I think you tend to learn a lot about life in general, and I think I can cope with things a lot better, definitely. It's not to say that I don't revisit those moments, or I have moments of doubt or moments of sadness, because, you know, things continue to happen. Life keeps throwing what it needs to at you, and I think we've got to deal with those things as they come. But I feel like I'm better prepared now than I was in my early 20s, which I guess if I was to give any advice to anybody who has had a similar experience to me, is to reach out, because that helped me a lot. And I think we need support from those who are closest to us, but the support from the people who understand us and who maybe understand those experiences. And we might think we're the only people that have this issue or have experienced this issue, but most likely it isn't.
I always hope that I can at least encourage someone to seek help, or try to give them a recommendation on how to deal with something, whether it's a breathing exercise or whether it is going for a run. You know, that I can pass on some wisdom about it, and, you know, and just make a positive difference somehow.
I guess from working with individuals, like-minded individuals at RunThrough, that we all like supporting people, we love helping people, that's why we do the job. Everyone in the office has been in a scenario of whether that's marathon training or training for another sport or triathlon, or everyone's been on that journey of building resilience, so to say. And in my opinion, I feel that resilience is also an important part of mental health, of overcoming barriers when you feel like you might not be able to achieve something. And it's important to be able to remember that you have achieved something on that journey and you can relate it, and all of those skills I guess everyone in the office or anyone that comes to our events, whether it's you've just done your first 5K or whether you've done your 20th marathon, that there are elements along that journey of getting to that 5K or completing that marathon that you can draw on other areas of your life. And I guess from a resilience perspective, like, that's really important. So not only like the health benefits, but also the resilience, the performance benefits from it.